Aristotle, on the Soul, Book 2. We must now define the soul more precisely. Let us begin with what is evident. Living things differ from non living things because they possess life. Life shows itself in several ways: nourishment, growth, decay, perception, movement, and thought. Not all living things possess all these powers. Plants live and grow, but they do not perceive. Animals perceive and move. Human beings think and reason. We must now determine what life is and what it means to possess it. Among existing things, some are substances. Some substances are bodies. Among bodies, some are natural bodies, bodies that contain within themselves a principle of motion and rest. Living bodies belong to this class. They are natural bodies organized in a way that allows life. Substance can be understood in three ways. It may mean matter, what something is made of. It may mean form, what makes something what it is, or it may mean the composite of matter and form together. Matter is potential, form is actuality, the composite is the complete thing we encounter. The soul cannot be matter alone. A body may contain the right material parts and still be dead. Therefore, life does not depend on matter by itself. The soul must be form, the principle that makes a living body alive. We can now state the definition clearly. The soul is the first actuality of a natural body that has life potentially within it. This does not mean the soul is a separate object placed inside the body. It means the soul is the organizing principle that makes the body alive. A body capable of life must be organized. It must have parts arranged for specific functions, such as nutrition, perception, and movement. The soul is the actuality of such an organized body. By first actuality, we mean the condition of being alive, whether or not the living being is actively using its powers. A person who is asleep still has sight, even though he is not seeing. The power exists, though it is not in use. In the same way, the soul is present as long as the body is alive, even when its powers are not actively expressed. The soul is not the body, but it is not separate from the body as a pilot is separate from a ship. The body is matter, the soul is form. Together they make the living being. If the eye were a living creature, sight would be its soul. Sight is the function and defining principle of the eye. Without sight, the eye remains in name only. Likewise, when the soul is absent, the body remains in name only. The soul is the cause of life in three ways. It is the source of movement, it is the form of the living body, and it is the end towards which the body's organization is directed. Now we must distinguish the powers of the soul. The most basic power is nutrition. This belongs to all living things, including plants. Through nutrition, a living being maintains itself. Through growth, it develops. Through reproduction, it produces another being like itself. Reproduction is the most natural function of living things. Living beings cannot remain eternally as individuals. Instead, they preserve their kind by generating others like themselves. In this way, they participate in continuity, not by remaining numerically the same, but by producing successors. Beyond nutrition, some living beings possess perception. This belongs to animals. Perception occurs when the sense organ receives the form of an object without receiving its matter. When we see color, we do not become colored objects. We receive the form of color without its material substance. Among the senses, touch is fundamental. No animal can exist without touch. Other senses may be absent in certain animals, but touch is always present. Each sense has its proper object. Sight perceives color, hearing perceives sound, smell perceives odor, taste perceives flavor, touch perceives qualities such as hot and cold, hard and soft. The sense organ is potentially what the sensible object is actually. When perception occurs, the organ becomes like the object in form. Perception requires change. The sense organ must be capable of receiving the form without being destroyed by it. Some animals also possess the power of movement from place to place. Movement follows perception. An animal perceives something as pleasant or painful. Desire arises, movement follows desire. When perception exists, desire exists. Where desire exists, movement may follow. Finally, some living beings possess thought. This belongs to human beings. Thought differs from perception. Perception concerns particular things, thought concerns universals. Perception always involves a bodily organ. Thought does not appear to depend on a specific bodily organ in the same way. Like perception, thought receives form without matter. The thinking part of the soul must be capable of becoming all things in a certain way. The powers of the soul form a hierarchy. Nutrition belongs to all living things. Perception belongs to animals and humans. Movement belongs to some animals. Thought belongs to humans. Higher powers include lower ones. Where there is thought, there is also perception and nutrition. Where there is perception, there is also nutrition. But not all souls possess all powers. All souls have nutritive power. Not all souls have perceptive power. Not all souls have the power of movement. Only human souls possess thought. The soul is not divided as a body is divided. Its powers differ in function, not in location. We can now restate the definition. The soul is the first actuality of a natural organized body capable of life. It is the principle by which living beings live, grow, perceive, move, and think. It is not a body. It does not exist separately from a body as an independent substance. It is the form and actuality of a living body. With this definition established, we are prepared to examine each power in greater detail. Here, Book 2 concludes.